One of the main purposes of factoring is to help solve equations. So in order to solve an equation by factoring, you need to manipulate the equation to have the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. The main thing is that it has to be equal to 0. You don't want to do anything until it is. So, for example, let's say we have 2x squared equals 7x plus 15. So right now it is not in the form for us to start factoring. So we need to manipulate it so it equals 0. So I'm going to move the 7x over and the 15 over. So minus 7 minus 15. So we now have the equation 2x squared minus 7x minus 15 equals 0. Now that it's in that form, we can factor. So this factors to 2x plus 3 times x minus 5, so equal to 0. And now, to solve this, all we have to do is set each factor equal to 0 and solve these two new linear equations. So we have 2x plus 3 equals 0 and x minus 5 equals 0. So here, this is going to give us that x equals negative 3 over 2, and here x equals 5. Now, how does this work, or why does that work? It works because since here we have two factors, which are things that are multiplied, if either one of these factors equals 0, whenever this gets multiplied by whatever, if this is 0 times anything, it equals 0. So if I plug in the negative 3 halves, this factor is 0, and 0 times no matter what this is equals 0. Likewise, if I plug in 5 here, and then the 5 would go in here as well, this is going to give me 0, and it doesn't matter what this gives me, because 0 times whatever equals 0. So that's how factoring works. That's actually called the zero product property. If any one of the factors equals 0, the whole equation will equal 0. So that's what we're applying here. All right, let's look at another one. Let's say we have the equation 8x squared plus 26 equals 7x squared plus 9x plus 6. So again, we need this equation to be equal to 0. So I'm going to move everything over here to the left. That way our x squared term will be positive. That's ideal. So this is going to reduce to x squared minus 9x plus 20 equals 0. So that's good, equals 0. So now we're going to factor this. And it'll factor to x should be 4 and 5, so negative 4 and negative 5. So again, if either one of these factors equals 0, then the equation will equal 0. So that means that if x equals 4, the equation is 0. And if x equals 5, the whole equation will equal 0. So 4 and 5 are the solutions to this equation. Okay, let's try one more. Let's say we have 2x equals negative x squared. Okay, so since I'm solving by factoring, this has to equal 0. So I'm going to move this over. So we have x squared plus 2x equals 0. It's not a trinomial, so I'm not going to factor it like the other two, but there is a GCF of x. So I'm going to factor that GCF x, which would leave an x plus 2. And now we use our zero product property. We set each factor equal to 0, because if either one is 0, the whole equation is 0. Well, and this one's already done. So x is 0, and x can also be negative 2. So those are the two solutions to that equation. So just a reminder, the steps would be make sure the equation is equal to 0, then factor the equation, and then set each factor equal to 0. And when you solve those new mini equations, those are all of your solutions. So pause and try this. And the solutions should be x equals 4/3 and x equals 2.